Here we go. Chav Zayin Amid Aleph. We're holding it to Mishnah. Just the announcement we'll make at the beginning, because sometimes people don't listen to the beginning. Next Sunday night, we're invited to the other Kinyan Siyum. It's a dessert reception at, I don't remember, I think 6:45 it says. They're having desserts and speeches and music and stuff. They would love for us to participate. I think it'll be a beautiful thing. Whoever couldn't make it to participate, it's local. It's in YSV Boys. So, B'siyata Dishmaya. And with that, we pick it up. Chav Zayin Amid Aleph, the Mishnah. Says the Hiliga Mishnah, Rabbi Eliezer Oimer teaches Rabbi Eliezer. Araba Esrei Seudot Chayiv Adam Le'achol B'Sukkah. 14 Sudas, 14 meals you have to eat in the Sukkah. Achas Bayoim, V'achas Balayla. One in the morning and one in the night. V'chachamim Oimrim, and the Chachamim disagree, and they say, Ein Ledavar Kitzvah. There's no set amount. You want to eat? Great, eat. You want to fast? Go and fast. Do what you would like. But whatever you do it in the sukkah. So if you're going to eat, you got to eat. You're not eating. But there's no chi of eating su'udois, chutz, except for milele risha, yom tev risha shachag, the first day of Sukkot bil vad.
Does the chachamim apply to women?
How this deals with women, we're going to have to deal with. That's a good question.
Right.
That's a question.
If you take out the time aspect of it.
Very good. He's saying if it's a one thing, no, then it's still time. Still time. It's one time. So mitzvah shezman groma al pi pashtus. The pashtus is a woman is pater, but we have not seen. Have we seen anything about a woman yet? No. We spoke. Yeah, we did. It's not true. It's not true. We saw about an Eved, the very, very beginning. And we said the reason why an Eved is pater, that very first Mishnah, we explained is because a woman. It's because an Eved is like a woman. And Rashi said, "V'chol she'isha chayeves evi nami chayiv." So if an Eved was chayiv, that was the raya that a woman was chayiv as well. But let's continue the Mishnah. So that's case A in the Mishnah, part A of the Mishnah. Part B of the Mishnah. V'oid Amar Rebbe Eliezer. And furthermore, it teaches Rabbi Eliezer, Mishaloi achal leili yom tov harishon.
One second.
Yeah?
What's the reason that they're saying that the first is you do have to eat?
We have to see. So far we know nothing. It's a Mishnah. The Gemara is going to get involved.
No, that's what I thought, but the Rashi is mashma because you're not allowed to fast.
Let's see. Shal kach l'chamim rishon. Kach l'chamim rishon is only the.
Not even that it's a mitzvah the first day, basically. It's just you're not allowed to fast.
We have to see.
We
have to see. No. So Rashi is just explaining ein l'davar kitzvah.
No.
Let's see the Kidyav Gemara.
When the Mishnah,
Yeah, I hear you.
The Mishnah says milei rishon means in Chutzar that they do two first nights.
Yeah.
That he's saying plural instead of saying milei rishon. Milei is it coming to say that it's plural? Is in both first?
No, I don't believe so. I mean, I'm not going to argue in diktik with someone who knows how to talk the language. But I don't know. I don't believe that's what it means. I believe actually, if you want to know, I'm actually holding my Mesifta over here, and they quote a Marshal that lei means lel. That's what the Marshal says. Very nice kasha. I guess lei does mean plural. We'll defer to the Israelis amongst us. And the Mishnah continues. Va'oid, part B of the Mishnah. So again, part A of the Mishnah was how many sudas? Either 14 or 1. Part B. Va'oid Amar Rabbi Eliezer, who said a moment ago 14 sudas, continues talking. If someone did not eat on the first night, Yashlim Lele Yom Tov Achroin Shel Chag. He could be mashlim, he could complete, he could make it up on the last day of Sukkot.
In the Sukkah?
Hold your question. I don't want you to confuse people. Very good. That's the Gemara's kasha. Beautiful. Very good. The Gemara. Whoa. Let's.
That's why he said if it's Sukkot.
Let's listen to the Gemara. Let's get there. We'll get there literally in approximately 2.5 minutes. Let's get there. There's no tashlumim. You get a one-time chance. And of this it says the quintessential me'uves lo yuchal litkon. I thought it was litakin. I guess I'm wrong. Something that is crooked you cannot fix. V'chisaroin, something that is lacking. Lo yuchal lihimanois, you cannot fill it up. This is usually used by a mamzer, child that is unfortunately born from a forbidden relationship, and we feel bad. We definitely do. We feel our hearts go out to this kid, but he's messed up, and there's nothing you could do. So says the Chachamim, You got one chance. You got it, good. If not, not.
Chachamim hold there's not tashlumim on davening also.
This is. What? No. I'm saying this is the Sukkah. What they hold about davening is not dafka. Lihimanois literally means to be counted. That's what it literally means. Here it means that if it's chisaroin, if it's lacking lihimanois, it can't be filled up. That's what the pasuk means. So now, Pashtos, although Rosh Hashanah is already connecting the two halves of the Mishnah, the Pashtos is we have two parts of a Mishnah, and we don't necessarily know how does Machlekes A play into Machlekes B. So let's just understand it as two parts, because the Gemara is going to connect it in a moment. The Mishnah began, Rav Eliezer says 14 Sudas, the Chachamim said 1. The Mishnah continues, Rav Eliezer says you missed it, you can make it up, and the Chachamim said you cannot. So before we get into part B of the Mishnah, part A of the Mishnah was, how many Sudas? Either 14, 2 a day, morning and night, or 1. Says the Gemara, let's deal with that then. My time with Rav Eliezer. Where does Rav Eliezer get 14 Sudas? Says the Gemara, Teishvu kein taduru. You dwell, you live, you sit like you dwell. The way you sit in your sukkah is like you dwell in your house, like you live in your house. Ma dira, just like when you live in your house. What do you eat? How many meals a day do you eat? Well, we eat about 16. But Bismar Chazal, they eat 2. Achaz b'ayoyim, v'achaz b'ayoyim. Europeans, you probably understand this more than we do. Europeans still have like a little bit of seder in their life. Yeah, you have a morning and you have a supper and finished. Now these are bread meals, Chaver. Don't get so nervous.
Tea and biscuits.
Yeah, tea and biscuits. Don't get so nervous.
Which meal do they not have? Lunch?
No lunch. No. It's interesting. It says morning and night. It says morning and night. It is interesting because in Eretz Yisrael it's really morning and late afternoon. There's no supper in Eretz Yisrael. Yeah, day and night. Day and night. Yeah. So the Gemara says, just like you live in your house, you have 2 meals a day, morning and night, so too you have to av sukkah, so too in your sukkah, achaz b'ayoyim, v'achaz b'aleila. So how did Rav Eliezer get 14? 7 times 2. 7 days of sukkahs, 1 in morning, 1 at night, 14 meals. The Rabbanan, what do the Rabbanan hold? How do they hold only 1 meal? Kedira, it's like your house. Madira, just like when you're home, Ibai achel, you want to eat, Ibai lo achel, you don't have to eat. Avsaka nami, Ibai achel, Ibai lo achel. You want to eat, you're not. Do you have 14? No. Seemingly, according to the Chachamim, how much should you have? 0. What should your obligation be? If you're hungry, you eat. You're not hungry, you don't eat. Asks the Gemara, Ihachi, if what we just said is true in the opinion of the Chachamim, Afilu Yom Tov Rishon Nami, the first day of Sukkot as well, Nami what? There should be no obligation, very good. If the Chachamim are learning, Kedira, just like in your house, how many of us did wash for breakfast today? No? Anyone? Breakfast washers? Oh, we had 1. How many washed for lunch? I washed for lunch today. How many wash for supper? Who eats supper already? There you go. There you go. No carbs. That's it. So that's it. No bread, and that's it. You're finished. So frak the Gemara, according to the Chachamim, seemingly, you should have no obligation. So why did the Mishnah teach us that you would have 1 obligation on the first day? Amar Rav Yochanan Mashom Rav Shimon ben Yohit Tzadok. Nemar kan chamisha aser. Over here by Sukkos, it says on the 15th, that is when you have the din of Sukkah. V'nemar, and it says chamisha aser b'chag hamatzos. It says that it's on the 15th when it comes to what we just had called Pesach. Ma lehalon, just like by Pesach, by Chag hamatzos. Laila harisha in chayva, the first night with an obligation to eat matzah. Mikan ve'elach, from the first night at on rishos. We paskin the rest of Yom Tif. We have an obligation to eat matzah. No, you wanted to eat good. You didn't want to eat. You don't have to eat. So say the Chachamim, we have a classical Gezerah Shava. The words Chamisha Asar is used by Pesach. The words Chamisha Asar is used by Sukkot. So says the Gemara, just like on Pesach, the obligation is the first night. Afkan, Laila Harisha in Chayva, Mikan, Ve'elach Rishos. So too over here, Afkan, here also, Laila Harisha, in the first night, Chayva is an obligation to eat in your sukkah. Mikan ve'ilach, from that moment and onward, rishos, it is optional. Before, let's just finish, then we'll speak it out outside. Ve'hasam minalan. Hasam over there by Pesach minalan. Where do you know that there's an obligation? You're assuming that just like by Pesach Chag HaMatzos you have an obligation on day one, so to here you have an obligation on day one. Says the Gemara, V'hasam by Chag HaMatzos by Pesach minalan. Where do you know you have an obligation on night number one? Amar Kra, says the Torah, Be'erev Tochlu Matzos. In the evening you shall eat matzah hakosov kavoi chayva. The pasuk literally creates an obligation. So let's just say it outside backwards. By Pesach, there's an obligation on the first night. How do we know? Be'erev toichlu matzos. That on the first night you have an obligation to eat matzah. On that night, what does the Torah say? Chamisha asar. What does it say by us on Sukkot? Chamisha asar. Just like in Pesach, you have an obligation the first night, so too on Sukkot, you have the obligation the first night. So now, according to the Chachamim, in reality, there's no obligation. Why is there no obligation? Because they agree, Teishu Kein Taduru. They agree. Rav Eliezer said Teishu Kein Taduru means what? 2 meals a day. Say the Chachamim, no, go even deeper. You don't have to eat 2 meals a day, so whatever you do, so really you have no obligation at all. Now we have a new Gezerah Shava, Chamisha Aser Mechag HaMatzos, that creates an obligation on day one. Now, how this is going to work with part B of the Mishnah, we're going to have to wait for tomorrow night. Day one and night, which is what the Chacham in the Mishnah said. Ein ledavar kitzah chutz mileile yantav harishon shel chag. That what? You should have an obligation.
Only 1 meal, then you should only have to.
So the truth is, theoretically, yes. But by Shabbos, the Gemara and Shabbos darshins numerous psukim to create more chiyuvim. That's where Shal Shidduch comes from. Listen, just be happy we don't paskin like Rav Chitzka, who held 4 meals. Kiddush Friday night is daraisa. We learn that from the pasuk. So that is machlokes here. Yeah.
The question, I feel
good, because if the Chachamim held Teishu Kein Taduru, that if you eat, you eat. You don't eat, you don't eat. So how many meals should you eat? Whatever you want. Not even one. Oh, so you should not even have obligation day one. Answers the Gemara. Chamisha asar michag ha matzos.
Could you say that, according to Rabbi Elazar, that there's 14 meals on Yom Tov? He's saying that if you're eating a meal, it has to be in the sukkah.
Yes.
In the sukkah, whereas a snack may not.
Yes.
The Chachamim are saying, whatever you, doesn't matter what you eat.
So
Eat, it has to be in the sukkah.
you bring up a fine nuance. We haven't seen anything yet. Rabbi Kogas is mentioning all we're learning in our Mishnah is how many meals. Rabbi Elazar says 14. The Chachamim seemingly their kula is a chomer. That's what you're pointing out. That the Chachamim said you have no obligation, but he said whatever you have to eat in the sukkah. Rav Eliezer, does he agree with that detail or whatever you eat? That we don't know. Maybe we don't know. We don't know.
No,
we don't know.
No, it's choylek on the fact that you have to.
If
it's not achilas ara, you have to eat in sukkah. The question is, what's the choyve?
You say
where
everyone
do you have to force him?
Good.
Also, ainu rashalis anois.
Good.
That's basically what the
Right.
question is.
So according to Rabbi Elazar,
You have to eat 14 meals.
You have to eat meals in the sukkah.
Minimum 14.
Right. Whereas according to the Chachamim, you want to have 1 pretzel, you have to take it to the sukkah. 1 piece of
No,
fruit.
but
It goes back to the rules of before.
Meaning I agree. Meaning you're right over here. Isolated in our Mishnah. If we opened up a Chav Zayin of an Aleph, that's what you would come out with. Good. Rosh Hashanah is pointing out, but no one's going to disagree. Very good.